Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So today we have some XRP news, we have some Bitcoin news, Cardano news, stock market news, gold news. We have a lot of very interesting news today. We're going to begin here with this article. This article is titled, XRP takes its most crucial first step towards spot ETF launch as binomial files with US CFTC. We're getting a lot of activity lately, are we not? Yes, we are. All right, and all of it's positive. So all of these positives are just adding up. It begins here. Binomial Exchange, a U.S. regulated crypto derivatives exchange, has officially filed with the Commodities Future Trading Commission to launch XRP futures contracts, which will lead to XRP spot ETF launches. This move, while significant on its own, represents an essential first step towards the potential launch of a spot XRP ETF. The development comes a year after Judge Annalisa Torres ruled XRP is not a security, and less than a week after the final ruling in the Ripple versus SEC case. It says Binomial submitted the filing to the CFTC on August the 9th, 2 days after the SEC's lawsuits end, self-certifying its intention to list contracts of XRP futures on the US dollar. Per the filing, the exchange plans to offer these contracts for trading starting August 13th, 2024. All right, so they're moving at a lightning pace. And it's interesting that everyone seems to be in a rush to get these developments done with the bank coins, right? XRP futures will be physically settled margin contracts based on the value of 100,000 XRP, with the contracts traded and settled in US dollars. These contracts will adhere to the various core principles set by the CFTC, including ensuring transparency and the protection of the market participants. XRP is currently one of the most liquid digital assets, ranking 8th in terms of 24-hour trading volume. Wow, these article writers been doing really well lately. Very, very in-depth articles, in my humble opinion. I like that. They go a little deeper. That's why I say this. Next section is titled Futures Contract Specifications and Potential and Position Limits. Notably, the XRP futures contracts from Binomial come with specific safeguards to prevent market manipulation and ensure orderly trading. All right, so we have a lot of good things happening surrounding XRP and the XRPL. Let's go here because we have some interesting activities going on with countries that we've known for some time are working with Ripple and the XRPL and XRP. We saw what India was doing. We saw what Thailand came out and said that they were going to be doing as well. And we know that Ripple and XRP is deep in the UAE. So there's no surprise to us if there's going to be some crossover. I mean, we're expecting, at least I'm expecting, global dominance at some point in the future if everything continues to go according to plan. So there's going to be some crossover here. But this article here is titled, India and UAE use XRP in trade to ditch the US dollar. This is coming from Watcher Guru, all right? So make sure you do your own research and verify everything that they're saying. You don't have to go by one article. I don't. But this is what it says. Ripple XRP is now playing a significant role in trade talks between two BRICS nations, India and the UAE. India has completed its first crude oil transaction with the UAE using local currencies, bypassing the US dollar. The transaction is integrated with the XRP Ledger System Crypto Trading Funds, CTF. This enables customers to earn CTF tokens as cashback when using the system. It says earlier this week, Ripple announced a major partnership in the United Arab Emirates, just one of many. They have many connections in the UAE. We've been covering that for a long time. The company issued a press release unveiling a partnership with Dubai International Financial Center. We've reported on that also here. The release stated that with that collaboration will, quote, accelerate blockchain and digital asset innovation in the UAE. All right, let's scroll down here, find out a little bit more. Both India and the UAE have been strong supporters of the overall BRICS mission to ditch the US dollar. The two nations have struck multiple deals already together, but this is the first kind of fully bypassing the greenback. It is also the first integrated within the XRP Ledger system. The BRICS initiative has searched for multiple ways to ditch the U.S. in trade from local currencies to even creating a new currency. Wait a minute, but there's something else that's there. You see, within the BRICS nation, they're not one unit, right? I know a lot of people like to think that way. They look at groups and they see one thing. They're not. It's a hydra of sorts, many different heads on one body, and all those heads, many of those heads don't agree with each other. They just agree on the one issue of, yes, we don't want to use the US dollar or Western-based systems anymore, but they want their own systems. And in that's where we come in. You see, they all have these siloed. You heard me say this many times. It's just the facts. It's true. Which, by the way, if you didn't see that members only video released yesterday, go check that one out. It was potent. Check that one out. Very informative. But because they all want their own systems, they need something to glue it together. And yes, I mean need, literally. They can't get around it. You can't have that much customization and have a unity of system. It just doesn't work that way. So you're going to need a glue. Well, XRP can be that glue. Stellar can be that glue. Algorand can be that glue. Quant can be that glue. Flare. The bank coins, the new financial system as a whole is the glue. Right. And it's we shall see how it works out, of course. But right now, everything is looking really, really good when it comes to that. And there's a lot of value that's going to flow through the new financial system potentially because of that. Not a guarantee, but this is where everything seems to be heading. So that's how I think the BRICS nations should be looked at. Like, for example, India and China, both members of the BRICS nations, but they don't agree on many, many different things, especially not on a one currency. There's been a lot of pushback within India about that one currency. This is why they're leaning more heavily towards local currencies. So what we're going to end up with more than likely is a multi-pronged system where in some instances they use local currencies. In some instances they may use the BRICS currency. And then in some instances for cross-border payments to have the absolute best in cross-border payments, they may go with using a native crypto. They put their local currency in, it's transformed into XRP, rides the rails. On the other end, it comes out as whatever other fiat currency needed to be converted into, for lack of a better word. My apologies. That's how I look at that. But of course, they're both using the XRPL. To have an XRP wallet, you have to have a certain amount of XRP held in that wallet. So XRP is going to be involved. Are they using XRP as the rail? I mean, as the for liquidity, as what do they call that? As a bridge currency. My apologies. As a bridge currency, as of now, I don't see anything specific about that, but I don't think it matters, right? What matters is that they're actually using the system. If this is true, and this is where they're beginning. This is not where they end. Everything grows out of the beginnings, out of the starting period, and becomes much bigger later on. So. But you do want to get a start. You want to start jogging before you run. You want to crawl before you walk, right? So this is where we're at right now. All right. So there you have that. Let's move on here. So now we have a very, very interesting article. This one is just a fun article, in my humble opinion. I know a lot of people don't like the higher price predictions. Don't get worked up about it. You don't have to believe something. I'm not here to convince you of anything either. I'm not saying I agree with the article. I just want to read it. I like to hear all the different predictions. I like to read all the information, then I'll decide for myself what I believe or what I think, or if this, enhances my thoughts or not. But I also like to have fun. This article is titled XRP hitting $10,000. Pundit outlines the key event that could trigger a massive rally. And now this article I really enjoyed reading because this individual touched on many things I speak on often. I've been covering T-bills for a long time, and then I cover when they start putting T-bills on the XRPL. They touch on that. They touch on the cross-border payments and etc. But anyway, it begins here. CryptoNaires founder Robert Doyle, fondly called Crypto Sensei, advocates an XRP spike to $10,000, citing the potential bullish effects if this crucial catalyst occurs. And then once it goes right into T-bills and the tokenization of real world assets. I've been talking about this all year. I told people. Now, I don't know how high you can push the price. Listen, I don't care about those predictions. I just know there's a lot of potentiality there. There's a lot of explosiveness there, which means there's a lot of value that can push the price up exponentially. Where, I don't know, but I just know any exponential rise in price is going to be good from where it is now, in my humble opinion. And that's, and when you're talking RWA, you're talking tons of value, right? And they're getting a start on it now, which is interesting. They're starting off with a heavy hitter like T-bills. Now, you know, we cover T-bills separately from crypto a lot of times on the channel here. We get some pretty good yield at times. I think bonds are up right now. Bonds are up, right? Did that go up a little bit because of like the turmoil and et cetera? There's a huge infusion that they're going to be doing of T-bills, I believe, coming up very soon, if they haven't done it already. That's going to be interesting. I think we have an article on that coming up. But it says, according to Doyle, the tokenization of real world assets on the XRPL, such as real estate worth trillions, or stocks, derivatives, and bonds, could serve as the stepping stone the XRP needs to record its substantial price upsurge. Once again, we've talked about this many times. And those are coming, period. I'm talking about in mass. In mass. And when that happens, what happens to that price? That's what I ask myself. Not financial advice, right? Do what you want to do. That's what I ask myself. When this happens, do you believe that XRP is staying below $1, $2, $3, $5? I'll be quite honest. When all of this occurs and you're getting all of this massive amount of value flowing across either the XRPL, Stellar, Algorand, Quant, Flare, XDC, it doesn't make a difference which one. There's so much value there on the table. What does it do to that price? What's it going to, you think they're going to stay where they are now? I humbly have to disagree with you. I just have to. And that's when you get these thoughts that people put out there, like, you know, you just have to have this little bit of this particular bank coin, and, you know, you'll make a good amount of wealth. I'm just saying what people have been saying for a long time. Sure, if you're going to have, at some point, you're going to have a massive amount of trillions upon trillions of dollars flowing through any of these things. Yeah, sure. At that point, you wouldn't need a whole lot to make okay value. Not financial advice. Again, I want to say that. Just sharing my thoughts. Make that clear. But that would be true. And right now, they're doing everything right. Everything right. So this is this person's personal opinion that it will take it to $10,000. A lot of people out there believe that. So be it. So be it. Yeah. I'm not going to stand against it, you know. We shall see. But I just want to touch on that lightly. He goes a little bit deeper into T-bills, but we cover T-bills so much on here. I believe you're well educated on T-bills. So now we're going to move on from there. Let's move on here to Bitcoin. All right. Bitcoin has some interesting activity going on. And keep in mind, despite the turmoils, we still have a lot of experts who predict that Bitcoin may go off late in the fourth quarter. We shall see. But this article is titled, Bitcoin on Exchanges Falls to a New Low, May Signal a Major Price Spike. It says a record low amount of Bitcoin on exchanges, record low, indicates a bullish trend, potentially leading to new all-time highs. Potentially, not guaranteed. We shall see. There are negative catalysts out there, so we shall see. This was written 21 hours ago, so it's very, very current. Bitcoin's presence on centralized exchanges has hit a historic low, signaling a shift that could set the stage for a significant price surge. Austin Arnold, host of Altcoin Daily, recently highlighted this critical development, suggesting that this trend might indicate a bullish future for the leading cryptocurrency. I'll pause right there. Like, I don't even need to know that the future is bullish for Bitcoin. When you have a multitude of huge companies that got into Bitcoin at a certain price range, right? They've been stacking and stacking and stacking, and their clients want to see a very delicious return on investment, 100%. There's no way those companies are going to let Bitcoin stay where it is now. I just don't see it possible. When they go, or when they play big. They play for keeps. They go for it all. And they haven't even begun to push the Bitcoin, the idea to the masses that, hey, Bitcoin is where it's at. That mass advertising of Bitcoin is good, and come here and get some Bitcoin. And that hasn't begun yet. Another thing, even with those big institutions like BlackRock, Valkyrie, ARK Invest, etc., involved in Bitcoin, the banks, and they're holding back for a lot of other companies to get involved. That's what I believe. They haven't made that push yet, and they could. Any minute they could do that. The masses of society listen to them, religiously so. They haven't done it yet. Why? They're holding back for those other companies to get in position. A lot of the banks are still setting up. It's not about purchasing Bitcoin. It's not about price. Not all the way. It's about positioning. They have mechanisms they're trying to set up. They have infrastructures they're trying to set up. They still have a little bit of testing left. A lot of these companies jumped in late. Remember what Cathie Wood of ARK Invest said. She told everyone. They sat out. They didn't believe. Now they want in. So there's this rush going on right now with these banks and companies trying to get into a proper position so they can make the most of it. It's not just about Bitcoin's price going up and making money off of that. No. They want to offer services for Bitcoin, wallets for Bitcoin, staking, lending, where they're going to take a good percentage off that, in my humble opinion, and make a lot of capital. You see, when they're trying to make capital, they do it in a variety of ways. And so I think that's what's holding it back. I mean, once it looks like most of them are in position, whoever's at the top or whoever that group is at the top, send off the signal flare, boom, send off that flare. And I think that you're going to see that push. And there's no way you're going to see Bitcoin $60,000, $70,000. I don't think you're going to see Bitcoin at $80,000. I think Bitcoin goes way past that, $100,000 to $150,000. In between that range, I think that's reasonable. It could go a little bit higher. You want to be real about it. But I think that's, I've been saying that for a long time now. I think those are pretty safe numbers, not financial advice. I got to always say that. If you have a channel, you better say that. You better always say that. All right. All right. I just want you to know. All right. All right. So it says here, Bitcoin hit a historic low. Arnold pointed out that the sharp decline in Bitcoin's presence on exchanges is a strong indicator of a bullish market. When investors move their Bitcoin off exchanges, they are typically signaling an intent to hold rather than sell. All right. So now he's preaching to the choir a little bit. Because we know this. So I think most people know where Bitcoin is headed and they're holding some Bitcoin. I do. There's a lot of profit takers, but there's a lot of people holding that Bitcoin because we know that explosion comes. We don't want to be left behind. We don't want to be left out. And we're in position. So now let's move on here. I have so many more articles, but we're not going to make it through all of them today. Let me briefly touch on this liquidity injection. I think this is going to be important. And I'll say this because obviously it's involving Janet Yellen again, once again. And a lot of people badmouth Janet Yellen. I don't agree with a lot on Janet Yellen, but I don't think you need to call people names, etc. like that. We can agree to disagree like adults and then just leave it at that. But this article is titled How U.S. Treasury's $1 trillion liquidity injection will send Bitcoin price to $100,000. Now they're saying will, like it's a guarantee. It's no guarantee, of course, right? But there's a high possibility of that occurring. Sure. The U.S. Treasury is about to unleash a barrage of liquidity that will push Bitcoin past its all-time high of $73,700. That's according to Arthur Hayes. Oh, so they reference Arthur Hayes, which is what we covered yesterday. I thought they were going to bring something different to the table here. But at least here we go. Altcoin season soon. U.S. Secretary Janet Yellen wants to keep the economy humming to ensure, certain political figures. I got to be careful with names on this channel. I don't need any problems. Certain political figures win the presidential election. It says to ensure a victory, the Treasury will inject a sizable amount of liquidity into the financial system before the year's end. Says that's great news for Bitcoin. You got to give me some more detail as to why you believe that and what you believe that's going to do. Then it continues on. If Bitcoin goes to the moon, the rest of the crypto market will follow. Haven't I been saying that? I've been saying that for a long time. Is what I saw in 2021. A lot of people, I don't know, they're separating, and maybe this is their experience. I haven't been here the longest. I've been here a little 3.5 years now. I've been here. So they may have seen much more than I have, but they separate altcoin season from Bitcoin's rise. But what I experienced in 2021 bull run, when Bitcoin exploded, all the altcoins went up also. That's my experience. So that's what I speak from. I think it will happen again. It says if Bitcoin goes to the moon, the rest of the crypto market will follow. And then once again, the prediction of Solana to go to $250, which a lot of people have much higher numbers for Solana. I think sky's the limit for Solana. I think also sky's the limit for Chainlink. Chainlink has a lot of bullish things going on. I just don't understand why it's not spoken of more often. And they're putting the news out there. That's the thing. You see, some companies are super bullish, but they're barely putting the news out there. They just live on Twitter. They're being lazy, and they just put out some tweets. And sure, there's a lot of people on Twitter, but there's a lot of people that are not on Twitter. You have to get your news if you want to, make your chain successful. You have to get your news out to the regular media. Chainlink does that. Their news is all over the place. Is not covered a lot, but you can find it, right? And they're super bullish. So Solana, when I think of Solana, I think of Chainlink as well. They both became bullish to me at the same time for similar reasons, and I picked them both up. I scooped a lot of them up at the same time. All right. So every time I think of one, I think of the other. All right, so Bitcoin is looking bullish. We shall see if the T-bills, if the infusion of capital makes a difference for it or not. All right. So now let's cover this Cardano, because I want to keep my word. I said we have some Cardano news. Let's try to squeeze this in here, okay? Now, this article is titled "Speculation Heats Up. Potential Meeting Between Cardano Founder and Elon Musk Gains Traction." I would not be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. I think Elon Musk, just from what I know, I don't know much about Elon Musk. I don't take in a whole lot of mainstream news. Just my apologies. I just don't. But I've seen a little bit, and it seems like he might be a person interested in these super decentralized protocol like Cardano. Maybe, I don't know. But it begins here. Rumors suggesting Elon Musk made it to the Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson's Wyoming ranch have sprung up, but with minimal evidence as backup. Yeah, well, I mean, what are they going by to say this? Who's reporting this? Where'd this information come from? That's my first question. Who would know that he went to this man's ranch? How would that be known? Is it a leak? For context, Tesla Motor CEO and ex-CTO Elon Musk announced a live interview with another presidential candidate. What's that have to do with Cardano? Let's scroll down. Shortly before the interview began, Musk disclosed that he would be organizing the session at his friend's ranch in Wyoming. Okay, I see. That's the connection? Okay, I see. Who knew? Who out there knew Charles Hoskinson lives in Wyoming? Why did they know that? What? Oh, man. The billionaire posted a picture of himself sitting casually in the rustic wooden ranch. The room had a warm, cozy ambiance with wooden beams and a high ceiling. That's a good description. I will give it to you. Intriguingly, Charles Hoskinson responded to Elon Musk's picture, quickly fueling speculation. He praised the ranch's woodwork and complimented the owner's taste, leading many to speculate that the property might be his. All right. Okay, I see where you're going. I see where people are going with this. Yeah, this is getting interesting. Hoskinson, who also owns a ranch near Wheatland, Wyoming, has always shown appreciation for rustic wooden designs. The similarities between his property and the one in Musk photo added to the rumors that the billionaire could be visiting or renting Hoskinson's ranch. Following Hoskinson's comments, Rick McCracken, a retired U.S. Navy senior chief, I had to pause for a minute there. We must be respectful, folks. It just brought back a memory from my youth. We'll talk about that. Maybe if I remember, we'll talk about that in a moment. It says, and prominent figure in the Cardano community joined. Be mature, folks. Be mature. Joined the conversation. He inquired about the type of wood. Be mature, folks. You used. Wait, what? Who's writing this article? Wait a minute. Wait, something's going on here. You did this on purpose. You did this on purpose, article writer. I know you did. Used in Hoskinson's ranch interior. Wait, what? All right. I hope that somebody out there's like, what the heck are you laughing at, Mick? I'm glad you don't know. I'm glad you don't know. And that's good. That's good. You're very mature. Subtly, I'm very mature too, but I have memories of, subtly fueling the ongoing speculation. All right. I see why they think what they're thinking. Now, we showed individuals some respect, but I remember a long time ago, children, when I was in school, this is a long time ago, I was in school and we get a substitute teacher, and some people used to write what do you call it? What do you call them? They would write fake names on the attendance list, and one of those names was Phil, like Philip, short for Phil. Phil McCracken. You get it? Phil. So anyway, that popped in my mind. I can't. Sometimes memories just come, folks. You just can't control it all the time. All right. All right, so we're going to end off there. I had some gold news, but I'll post that in the members only section. All right. I have some other articles. I might post those in the members only section as well for you to read if you want to partake. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, everybody, let's get to the money.